Hello, my name is Lyall Armstrong, and I'm a professor in the history department here at AUB. And on behalf of the university, we'd like to welcome you to AUB. Clearly, you are among the top echelon of students coming out of high school, and we are glad to have you here among us. You are now at maybe the leading institution of higher education throughout the Middle East, and clearly, because of your hard work, you deserve to be here with us. And we look forward to working with you over the next 4 years to try to help you as you advance your education and prepare for your future and your future careers. I am also part of the Freshman Advising Unit. And on behalf of the Freshman Advising Unit, I would like to welcome you again to the university, and in particular, welcome you to the freshman year. We are here to help you navigate through this freshman year to transition into majors as you move on in your academic career. Whatever we can do to help academically in that process, we would like to offer that assistance to you. I may be the advisor for some of the students who are watching this video. You may have others who are advising, other students may have other advisors in the university, but I think I can speak on behalf of all freshman advisors that we are glad that we are here to help you, and we would like to make ourselves available to you as much as we can to learn how to work through the systems and the policies and the procedures here at AUB to make your life easy and to provide for you the best possible foundation for success in the future. What I'd like to do in this video is give you an overall view of the university and of the freshman program so that you know what to expect, that you begin to prepare yourselves for your meetings with your individual advisors so that as you speak to them from the very beginning, you have some idea of what you need to be looking at and what you need to do. And so this video is intended to set that foundation for you. Of course, it won't be comprehensive. You will find several questions that will come up, some questions that will be specific to your particular situation. However, this video hopefully will lay a foundation for how you can, for the essentials for the freshman program. As freshman students, you are in the division within the university called the Faculty of Arts and Sciences. The university is divided up into several faculties. If you go on to the main web page of AUB and you go to academics, you will see down here faculties. Click on faculties, and what you'll have now is a list of all the different schools, which we call in university faculties, that the American University offers. We have agricultural and food sciences, arts and sciences, health sciences, medicine, the School of Nursing, engineering, and business. All freshman students are in the Faculty of Arts and Sciences. So you are all in this faculty. Some of you may want to eventually transfer out of this faculty and go into another faculty. Some of you may be interested in business, for instance, and after the freshman year will transfer to the business school or to agriculture and food sciences. Some may have in their long-term plans going into medicine. This is a graduate program, of course, and so you'd have to complete your bachelor's program in a faculty such as arts and sciences, or even in some of the other faculties in order to prepare yourself to go into the graduate program of medicine. But I would encourage you to navigate through these different faculties because in them you'll find what they offer. You'll find the different majors that they offer, the emphases that these schools have, and it will begin to prepare you for determining what you want to do and what you want to study here at AUB. So all freshmen are within the Faculty of Arts and Sciences. When you go to the Faculty of Arts and Sciences webpage, this is what you will find. A greeting from one of the associate deans, information about the faculty. The faculty is divided up into three basic categories. That is, majors that are called social sciences, and you'll see a list here, such as economics, education, and you can read those. Humanities, a list of those that fall under the designation of humanities, and then sciences. So the Faculty of Arts and Sciences is divided up into these three groupings. You need to become familiar with this section here on the students section of this particular web page. When you click on students, you'll find awards, students resources, career services, student advising. Uh, let's see, I think I want actually, let's go back here, forgive me, and go to student resources. In student resources, you'll find information about the programs, general programs here at the university. Some of you are, for instance, may be involved in the university preparatory program. This here will give you information about the structure for that. It tells us about different graduate programs. If you're interested in what AUB offers in terms of graduate programs, you can find that there. One of the things that you will have to deal with at some point, most likely, in your career at AUB is petitioning to have some change done or some alteration for your particular program or on your course, the courses that you're taking, on your transcript, official academic issues that you may need to petition to have the university consider your case. You'll find that here, the online petition form system. It's not necessary for you to know all about that right now, but it may be something you'd want to explore here. And if you have friends who are already at AUB, they can certainly help you in knowing how to navigate through the petition system. You'll find here a list of majors, of minors, academic advisors. Those of you who are interested in pre-med can find information here on this website. What we are interested in, though, in particular, is the freshman program. So I would encourage you to click on the freshman program. And here we have a list of information, an old picture. I just happened to squeeze in here in the back. You can see that. That's a shameful plug by me. You can ignore that. So here we have freshman academic advisors. You can find information about who your advisor is here. The mentorship program, something that I'll be sharing with you here in a moment, and then the freshman guide. This is crucial. You must become familiar with the freshman year, the guide for the freshman year 2020 to 2021. This essentially has all the information that you will need for the freshman year. So download that, spend some time. I know looking at an academic a catalog of academic information is not the most exciting thing to do. However, you will save yourself a lot of heartache and a lot of distress in trying to figure out what is required if you'd simply take 30 minutes to an hour and look at the 30 or so pages that comprises this freshman guide. You'll find that you will save yourself a lot of time writing emails to advisors. There's a great amount of information in there. The freshman advising unit has worked hard in providing you all that information. Take advantage of it. Save yourself some time. Another thing that I want you to consider is this requirement checklist. We're going to come back to this in a while, but it's a very important part as we move into having an individual session with your specific advisor. Now, I want to call up for us the freshman guide. So here's the freshman guide. The guide that I just mentioned to you that you need to download. So I want to look through what it has here. It has a welcome, freshman program, credit load. The university is laid out in a system of credits, which means that each course that you take, you'll receive a certain amount of credits. Most of those credits, most of the classes are 3-credit courses. And in general, a credit hour equates to an hour that you spend in class. In general. So a 3-credit course means that you have spent approximately 3 hours per week in that course. There's some, again, it's not hard and fast, but that's a general rule that will help you understand what the credit system means. The university, AUB, as do all universities, require that students fulfill a certain amount of credits, which equates to a certain amount of classes. At AUB, we are divided into 4 years, for freshmen in particular, 4 years of 30 credits. In order to graduate from AUB, you need to have 120 credit hours, 120 credits. In general, most students can take 30 credits for 4 years, and that gives them the 120 credits. Therefore, as a freshman, you need to complete 30 credits in your freshman year in order to finish the freshman year. Now, there's a little twist, as you might note here in reading the regular freshman program. You can apply to a major with only 24 credits. You do not have to complete all 30 within the fall and the spring in order to apply to a major. You can apply to a major with 24 credits. Of course, applying to the major implies that you have already completed all of the requirements for that major. We're going to talk about that here in a moment. However, just in terms of credit requirements, you can apply to a major with 24 credits. Therefore, if you decide, for instance, to take a less than full load, a full load for the fall would be 15, a full load for the spring would be 15, giving you therefore 30. But you could decide to take 12 credits in the fall, for instance. Maybe as you transition to your first semester of university, you want to take take fewer classes to try to help yourself in the adjustment period. So you could take 12 credits in the fall, and then in fact you could take 12 credits again in the spring. That would give you 24 credits. You could then apply to a major to enter that major in the fall of your next year, your sophomore year. You would enter the major with only 24 credits. You have to make up those 6 credits at some point. You can't simply say, now that I'm in the major, I don't have to take those credits. Because if you approach it that way and you come to the end of your academic career, you will find that you are 6 credits shy of graduation, and you don't want to be in that situation. So make sure that at some point, even if you take less classes, less credits during your freshman year, only 24, and go into a major, that you do not forget that those 6 credits that you were supposed to take as a freshman are still there, and you still must take those at some point in your academic career. Okay? So 30 credits times 4 gives us 120 credits, which will allow you to graduate. The types of courses that you must take as freshmen fall under those 3 general categories that I showed you in on the website of the Arts and Sciences, the Arts and Sciences website. Let's scroll down here and see how it's laid out in the freshman guide. You'll note here that there is a list of humanities courses. When you look through that humanities courses, actually, let me say it this way. You have humanities courses, you have mathematics courses, natural science courses, social science courses, and then electives. You'll note that the number on the majority of these courses begins with a 1. Most freshman courses are designated as 100 level courses. They have various numbers attributed to them or ascribed to them. For instance, AROL is Archaeology, Archaeology 101. 101 is a course that's designated for freshman students. You will not find in Archaeology 101 or in other 100, or in most of the 100 courses, you will not find students who are not freshmen. In some of them you will. Math 101, Math 102 are more advanced courses in terms of the content that they provide. In fact, they're more advanced than Math 203. Even though Math 203 is a 200 level, it is not as advanced in the content that is given in the course as Math 101 and Math 102. So while there's a general sense, you should have a general sense that 100 level courses are for freshmen, 200 level and beyond are for sophomores, juniors, and seniors. It is not always the case. You will find some variation in that, math being only one example. There are others. As freshmen, you must take courses from each one of these categories, from humanities, mathematics, natural sciences, social sciences, and electives. The humanities designation you'll find listed here. Art history, Arabic, archaeology, civilization sequence program, English, history, philosophy, and others. Natural sciences are biology, geology, chemistry, physics, environmental health, etc. Social sciences, economics, PSPA is political science and public administration, SOAN is sociology and anthropology, and psych, of course, is psychology. Electives is exactly what it means. An elective is any course that you want to take. Not all freshman programs have electives because of the nature of the program, where you may want to go into. I believe the majority of them do. I'd have to check, for instance, some in the sciences that might be preparing you to go into engineering may not have any or may have only one. It's not uncommon for some of these, for some majors or for some freshman programs, as you're preparing yourself to go into a particular major, to have limited number of electives because the program that you want to go into has specific requirements that you must fulfill in order to enter that major. So we'll show you in a moment how the different majors are laid out and what's expected from freshmen in the courses that they take. So these are, in general, the types of courses that you need to take. You'll note under humanities that we have English. All students are required to take an English communication class. In other words, all students are required to complete, in particular, they're required to complete English 203 in their freshman year. Some of you may have already been placed in English 203. You will know your placement based on your SAT scores. You can find all that information in the freshman guide. The majority of you will already have received your English placement from the admissions office, so you should already know that. If you don't know that, try to find that out before you go to the individual sessions with your advisors. Having that information there clear for them makes their job a lot easier. So find out what English you've been placed into. Some coming in may be placed into a special English, a beginning level English. Those who are placed in, for instance, English 100B or 100A are only allowed a certain amount of courses, English, in addition to that English program, because the English is an intensive program. And the university allows those who are in 100B to take one course in addition to that, to those who are in 100A to take two courses in addition to that. Those of you who are placed in English 102 will eventually have to take two courses in your freshman year, English 102 and then English 203. The requirements for the English courses in the freshman year will be listed out in the particular majors that you want to go to. But in general, English 203 is the last course that you need, or the highest course that you need in English in your freshman year. Eventually, all students will have to take English 204, but that is not required in the freshman year. You can take that in your sophomore year. However, you need to take that in a sequence. In other words, you need to take English 203, and then by the first semester of your sophomore year, English 204. You could take 203 and then not take 204, take 203 in the fall, not take it in the spring, and then take 204 in the fall of your sophomore year. But what you cannot do is delay English 204 until the end of your academic career. The university understands and requires that students have English 203 and 204 because you will eventually be in courses that are writing intensive. And if you do not have that writing background, which is what 203 and 204 prepare you for, then you will not be ready to take those courses that are writing intensive. So it is required that you take 203 and 204, that those be done by the end of your sophomore year. That is because some sophomores come in and they still need to take 200 level, they still need to take English, and so they take 203 in the fall and 204 in the spring. In the past, you may find that you talk to some of your colleagues that are already here and they say you can delay 203 or you can delay 204 to a later time. The university is becoming stricter on that policy. Do not listen to that information. What I'm telling you is the thing that you should do. You need to take 203 and then 204. Be done with that by the end of your sophomore year. You also need to take an Arabic course. Some of you may be coming into the university from an institution, from a high school in which Arabic was not taught. It was not the primary language. You did not take regular Arabic. If that is your circumstance, then you need to get a waiver from your school saying that your education was not done in Arabic. In other words, the uh, the language of instruction of your program was English, and if you took any Arabic, it was a special Arabic. It wasn't standard Arabic. It wasn't expected for all students in your high school to do Arabic, or at least in your program in high school to do Arabic. So you'll need a statement, a document, a letter from your school saying that the language of instruction was English, that you were not taking Arabic. If you have that, you then can be exempted from taking the Arabic requirement for freshmen. If you are exempted from taking the Arabic requirement for freshmen, you must substitute that requirement with another humanities course from this designation we find here. Okay, from this group, from this grouping, you must take another humanities course. Or you can take another language course, which would also fall under the humanities. Your exemption from Arabic does not mean you're exempted from the credits that you must fulfill for that Arabic requirement. Okay, it's simply an exemption from taking a specific course. If you're exempted from Arabic, once again, you must take a humanities. Now, uh, look at what your English placement is. Look at, come prepared to tell your advisor what your Arabic placement is or what your Arabic requirements are so that they can advise you well as you sit with them. Some of you may be coming in from high school programs that offered something like the International Baccalaureate Program, the IB, or advanced placement courses, AP courses. If you are coming into the freshman year with IB courses and AP courses, and you took the exams for those courses, and you received high marks on those courses, I think in the IB it's 5 and 6, the AP it's 6 and 7. I don't remember exactly, so don't take me on that precisely. All of that information is in the freshman guide. You can see here, we may even be, let's look back here, placement, freshman credits equivalent to AP, IB, and AL, page 13. Look on page 13, and there it will tell you if you took an AP course, what you have to get in that AP course, and what its equivalent is at AUB. Let's see if we can just jump down there real quick. Excellent. We're already on 11, 12, and here we are. So, freshman credits equivalent to AP. So if you took AP Biology, and then it's equivalent to Biology 101 or Biology 105 or Biology 106. Note at the bottom with the star, equivalence of AP requires a grade of 4 or 5. Okay? You can get a maximum of 15 freshman credits from AP subjects. You'll see similar information when you look the next pages on the IB program. So if you have AP courses, you have IB courses, when you sit with your advisor, make sure you have that information so that they can know what courses that exempt you from, and in this case, you are actually exempted from that course. Unlike what I mentioned to you with the Arabic. If you have an AP course, biology for instance, you do not need to take Biology 101. It takes care of that requirement. Okay, so that is different from simply not having to take the course because you get credits for that. You receive the 3 credits for that. In other words, if you have one AP course, now you only need 27 credits for the freshman year instead of 30 because of that. So that would be for all of you students who have that, well done. That makes your freshman year a little bit easier and gives you some more flexibility on the types of courses you want to take. Now, several of you have an idea of what you want to major in already. This is where this checklist that I mentioned to you earlier is important. Again, if you go to the freshman program Let's go back and let's start again from the very beginning so you know how to get there. If you start on the first page of the website for AUB, and then you go to academics. In academics, you can go to faculties. You may be actually able to Google this and it may give it to you, but I'm going to take you through it step by step so that if you can't get it when you Google it, you'll be able to know exactly how to do it. When you get here, you go to students, you go to student resources. When you get to student resources, you scroll down to the freshman program. Okay, this is where we were just at, where I told you you can find this guide to the freshman program here. And then at the bottom, we have a requirement checklist. What you'll find here is a PDF of the requirements for each one of these majors. So say some of you want to take business as your long-term goal is to transfer out of the Faculty of Arts and Sciences and go into the business school. Let's see what the business school requires. So I click on business and it's going to give me a PDF. Here's a PDF. With this, it tells you the information for the intended major of business. Arabic, you need Arabic 101 or 102, unless you have an exemption. If you have an exemption, you'll present that exemption to admissions, to the registrar. You will be exempted from that. However, as you will note here, it has Arabic with an A next to it. That A then brings us to the bottom as a footnote. Students who are officially exempted from the Arabic language requirement should replace this requirement by taking any 3-credit course in humanities or any language course, including Arabic as a foreign language. Because these Arabic 101 and 102 are not Arabic as a foreign language. They're done in Arabic. They're literature-based courses, and so they're different than someone who is learning Arabic. So you could take Arabic as a foreign language as if you're taking it for the first time. So if you are not exempt, if you come from a program in your high school in which Arabic was the primary language of instruction, or you were taking regular Arabic, then you're required to take Arabic 101 or 102. I will tell you, some of you may be thinking now, what is Arabic 101 and 102? What is offered? I'll tell you here in a moment. English. This is where we need to know what your English placement is. For someone who's going into business, you must complete English 203. Ignore here and or 204 for the time being. Go back to what I just mentioned in terms of your English requirements. Some of you, however, may have been placed in English 102. If that's the case, then we will use English 102 as one of your electives. In other words, you will not get one elective because you're going to be required to. It's compulsory that you take 102 in order to take 203 and finish that requirement before the end of the freshman year. So one of your electives will be English 102. For instance, suggested useful electives, English 102 if taken. If you required English 102, you take that there. Okay? That takes care of one of your electives. If you're not required to take 102, then you take 203. So say you're exempted here. We'd say exempt, substitute it with another course, a humanities course. We'll come to that in a moment. English 203, you'll take 203. Most of you should take English 203 your fall semester or your spring semester in your freshman year. You have to finish it by the end of your freshman year. Then you have 2 humanities requirements for someone who wants to go to business. Here is a list of humanities courses. We'll get to the precise information about what those courses are in a moment. You need to take 2 humanities courses. However, you may have remembered that your exemption from Arabic 101 means that you need to add a humanities course. So now no longer you're taking 2, but you're taking 3 humanities courses. So we'll add a humanities course here. You need to take math. For business, math 203 is sufficient. You don't need to take math 101 or math 102. If you want to take those in order to go into something more, more math focused, you certainly can do that. But math 101, which is a calculus, the first calculus course, is not required for business. Math 203 is. So I would recommend, if you are decent or struggle with math, certainly take math 203. If you've taken calculus already in high school and want to push yourself, you can take 101. If you have low math scores on your SAT or ACT, I would not recommend taking 101 and putting yourself through that hassle. Take 203. Of course, this is only for business. I'm giving you just this example. I'll give you one other example after we do business. Business student, someone who wants to go into business, I should say, needs to take 2 natural sciences from this list here. Also, a social science from this list here. You will note that as we add all of these up, you have one more elective, you end up with 30 credits. So you're obviously not going to be able to take all of these courses in the fall semester. So you should divide it up. This is where your advisor will help you. At the same time, you should sit down before you talk to your advisor, look at this list, and begin to think of what you want to take and present to your advisor. I think I want to take 203, this humanities course, and so forth. Okay? So you need to do a little bit of work before you sit down with your advisor. This is for someone who wants to go into business. Now, let's pick another one. Many of you may want to go into engineering. You may have in specific, you know exactly what engineering program you want to go into. It doesn't matter for someone who's in the freshman year. All that matters for a freshman is that you complete the basic requirements for admissions into the engineering school in your sophomore year. You'll find some of the same requirements in the beginning. Arabic with the same exemption issues. English, same thing. You must take English 203. Look down here. Engineering, those who want to go into engineering have 1 elective only, unlike business, which offers you 2. If you get placed in 102, just like in business, that elective is gone. So you take this elective, 102 becomes your elective. Then in the spring semester, you take English 203. So you'll take 102 in the fall, 203 in the spring. Because engineering requires more math and science, in the freshman year, they only require 1 humanity. However, again, if you're exempted from Arabic 101, you now have, engineering students, 2 humanities, right? I'm a historian, but I can at least do that much math. So you have to take 2 humanities. You also have to take Math 101 and 102. Naturally, then, you'd want to take them fall and spring. You need to take Chemistry 101 with a Chem 101 lab, Physics 101 with a Physics 101 lab. Physics 101 with lab is only offered in the springtime. You cannot take it in the fall. So you could take Chem 101 in the fall, and then you take Physics 101 with the lab in the spring, and then you have to take a social science elective. Okay, so this is the requirement for those students who want to go into engineering. One more option, one of the more popular majors, and that's not necessarily history, unfortunately, but one of the more popular majors is biology. Several of you want to go into biology. Same thing applies here at the top. You have to take Math 101. You'll note in the science section, you need to take Biology 101, 102. Therefore, it would only make sense that you would do Biology 101 in the fall, 102 in the spring. Chem 101 with Chem 101 lab, you could do that same. You could take Chem 101 with the lab in the fall, and then take Physics 101 in the spring. Many of you who are going into biology want to do this for pre-med. If you're interested in seeing the pre-med requirements, go to the freshman program. You'll find there in the freshman guide, let me call that up. Here's the freshman guide, and you'll find in the freshman guide information on pre-medical requirements, page 5. Okay, so check that out. So before you go to your advising session with your specific advisor, go to this page on the freshman program and find the major that you are interested in going into, that you're interested in applying to. You should have at least 2. It may be the case that you will not get into your first choice. So if you want to go into engineering, you may not get into engineering. You have to have an alternative. So look at least 2 of these majors that you're interested in, and then go from there. Now, some of you may be in the situation where you have no idea what you want to do, and that is okay. It's okay even after the end of your freshman year to not know what major you want to go into. It's okay to go into your sophomore year and be majorless and still trying to figure out what to do. That's the beauty of a liberal arts education that we offer here at AUB, that we do not force you from the very beginning to go into a major. We allow you to explore what you want to do. Don't feel like you are behind everyone else simply because you're majorless and you don't know what to do. Take advantage of that. Explore all the options that we have here. We have a broad array of possible majors. So explore many of them in order to find what you enjoy and what you would like to do. And just as some personal advice, find the thing that you like, because the thing that you like is the thing that you'll be good at. The thing that you are good at is the thing that you'll invest your time in. The thing that you invest your time in is the thing that's going to become, that you will become strong in, and this will open up opportunities for you in the future. Don't restrict yourself by saying, is this going to get me a job? Is this going to be provide some type of future security in some other ways? Pursue the things that you're interested in, and you will find yourself doing well in those, and that will help you open up opportunities in the future. So start early, thinking through these process, looking through these different majors, trying to determine what you want to do. Now, in addition to this, looking at the freshman guide, I would also recommend that you look at the course catalog for the university. This is where you're going to find information on each one of the courses that we just saw in those checklists. So in other words, if you want to know what ARAB, what Arabic 101 is, then you find Arabic 101 in the course catalog, and it will tell you exactly what it offers, what the course entails. So go to Academics from the main web page, go to Academics, go to the Office of the Registrar. When you get to the Office of the Registrar, you can find the course catalog for the academic year here in this on this website. Catalog, University Catalog, 2020 to 2021. The University Catalog, it gives you the undergraduate catalog and it gives you the graduate catalog. Click here. Here is a list of the catalog with each one of the schools. I mentioned to you the faculties, Faculty of Agriculture and Food Sciences, Arts and Sciences, Business. You'll see them all listed here. So now you are in Arts and Sciences. So we go to Faculty of Arts and Sciences. Here it brings up this section in the course catalog. In Faculty of Arts and Sciences, we want undergraduate, which is what you are. Now, in this, you then say, I'm interested in finding out what, if I want to take Economics 101 or if I want to take Psych 101. So let's see what those two courses entail. So we go to Economics 101, and here it will get to Economics, and here it gives us an overview of what is required for the Economics department for the Economics degree. We can scan through here, major requirements, the courses that they require here. Now here's Introduction to Microeconomics, Economics 101, and it tells you what is offered. An introductory survey of the principles of microeconomics designed primarily for freshman students. So you can look at that and consider that, or maybe you want to take Psychology 101. Let's see what Psychology 101 says. So here you'll find the same thing, the psychology departments, the requirements for a BA degree in psychology. So if you're interested in the psychology degree, read that. It'll give you the information about what they require. And here's Psych 101, the course description, a survey of the principles and concepts of modern psychological science. You can read the rest of it if you're interested in that. So go to the course catalog, search through the course catalog, find out what each one of those courses entails, and then when you sit down with your advisor, you will know what to take. If you sit down with your advisor and you say, what does CVSP 100 or 110, what is that course? Your advisor is not going to know the information to each one of the courses that is listed there, okay? It's going to take you a lot longer to work through that. It is much more effective if you sit down ahead of time, look at what the courses, what the courses are, find out what they include, what they entail, determine if you're interested in it or not, and then decide. For instance, you're going to need to take a humanities course in your first semester. Go through the list of humanities courses, look at what they offer, instead of sitting there with your advisor and saying, so what is Arabic 101? What is Archaeology 101? What is History 101? What is Philosophy 101? Then the advisor is going to do the same thing that you can do, which is go to the course catalog, look through the course catalog, and read it to you. Instead of doing that, do that work up front. When you sit with your advisor, it'll go much more smoothly and much faster if you take that time up front. Another important thing that you need to become familiar with in the course catalog are the policies and procedures of the university. So we come here and we look at the university, okay? Look at that section. It tells you everything you need to know about the requirements of the university. What does it mean to drop a course? How long do you have to drop a course? What's the difference between dropping a course and withdrawing from a course? I will tell you briefly. You can drop the course in the beginning of the semester and you will get a full refund, and the course will not show up on your transcript. If you wait and you take the course for a month or beyond the drop add period, and then you want to get out of the course because you've taken your first or second quiz and you're not doing well and you don't want to get a bad grade on your transcript, you can withdraw from the course. Withdrawing means you do not get reimbursed for the course. You pay for the course, and on your transcript it has the course name and next to it a W instead of a grade for withdraw. It does not affect your GPA. It is listed on your transcript. In general, it should not affect the way those who later read your transcript and determine what your GPA is. They will simply note that you took the course and you withdrew. They won't know why you withdrew. Maybe you withdrew because of non-academic reasons. So there's no way of determining if you're doing bad or you're doing well or what the scenario was for your withdrawal. But it will have the course there with a W, and you will not be reimbursed for it. You need to know all that information before you take these courses, so that you're not trying to expecting to be able to get the same abilities or the same privilege of dropping the course when you withdraw, that you understand the difference between the two. So become familiar with the university requirements. It'll give you all that information. Unfortunately, in the situation that we're currently in now, we're doing all of this online. So you're watching this video instead of watching me in person do it. And the same thing is going to happen with your advising sessions. You're going to talk to your advisor will reach out to you. You may already know who your advisor is. It would be appropriate, if you want to reach out to them with an email. They will set up a meeting with you. The meeting may be done through Zoom, it may be done through WebEx, it may be done through WhatsApp. There are different options that professors will use to interact with you in setting up your schedule for the fall semester of the freshman year. So be prepared for an online interaction with them. A recommendation that I would give to you is that you turn your camera on when you talk to your advisor. It'll be good for your advisor to be able to see you, especially as a freshman, especially be able to interact with one another a little bit more personally. So in that interaction, I would recommend that you do that. You're also going to be assigned student mentors. A student mentor is a current AUB student who has proven themselves in their academic career and has been selected to be a mentor for freshman students. They will be a great resource for you. In some ways, in some areas, they'll be a better resource than your advisor. For instance, they'll be a better resource in learning how to actually go through the registration process, what you have to do specifically to register for the course. Your advisor can tell you you need to take these type of courses, but he or she may not know how to actually register for the course. I admit, I don't know how to do that. So I will send you to your to your student mentor, and the mentor will be able to help you navigate through that. Now, Just a couple of things at the end. You'll have to take a plagiarism test that will be administered by the library. I believe it can be done online. The reason why we have you do a plagiarism test is because AUB demands academic integrity. What that means in short is this: do your own work. If you do not do your own work, if you either cheat from somebody else on an exam, or if you have somebody else write a paper for you, or if you take information from other sources and claim that it is your own without citing it properly, this is where the plagiarism course administered by the library will be helpful in understanding how that works. If you do any of those things and you are caught, you will find yourself in a very bad situation. It'll be very difficult for you. You could possibly end up in front of the disciplinary committee at the university that will have a mark on your transcript for the rest of your life that you were disciplined by the university. That is not something that you want. Read in the university catalog about academic integrity and about plagiarism. If I can sum it up for you in the most simplest of terms, it is do your own work. Don't take a shortcut and take from somebody else. You will regret it. Do your own work. The last thing I want to share with you is this. As you interact with your professors, maintain a basic level of professionalism within academia. When you write an email to your professor, begin with "Dear Professor," and whatever the name is. In my case, "Dear Professor Armstrong." Okay, that is the proper way for you to address me. It is not the professional way to address me as Mr. Lyall, for instance. The professional way is for you to address me as Professor Armstrong. If a professor then tells you that they prefer to be called something else, then you can begin to do that with that professor. Okay? And indeed, your relationship with certain professors may evolve over time. But you should begin with a standard professionalism in your interaction with your professors. As you do that, they will appreciate that, and it sets the proper tone for the university as a whole. So as you interact with your professors now, sending them emails, think about that last point. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. And once again, congratulations on your admission to AUB. We are here to help you to make this transition as smooth as possible and to push you further down your road towards the career that you want to pursue, towards the major that you want to have. And we are here to help you have a successful career at the university. I look forward to seeing you. If you have any questions, send me an email. In particular, those who are my advisees. If you have other questions, send your advisor an email. Talk to them. And I want to thank you for watching this. I hope we have a great day, a great semester, and a great year. Take care. Bye-bye.